What's good, everybody? It's your boy Heek. Welcome to another episode of Heek's Hot Takes. Sliding on you in the late night edition. I got my boy Avery in the building with me here. Avery, what's good, man? How you feeling?
Feel good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be on here for the first time. This been in the work for a couple years, so
Been in the works, man. Been in the works. For those of y'all that don't know, Avery's one of my day ones from the sandbox. So it's been a long time coming, trying to get him on the show. I really value his sports mind, his athletic ability. So this is a true value to the show, man. Appreciate you for stopping in, bro.
I appreciate that, man. I feel the same way it's crazy how good you are at these picks, man. I'd be super impressed. I'd be like, man, this motherfucker really be.
I told Balake, I was like, man, I don't know. It's like my superpower. I don't know what it is. I bet it's like my little Rain Man shit, the sports.
I feel
Yeah, so let's just hop right into it, right? Fresh off of game 7, Houston versus Golden State, right? 2 versus 7. And I think the thing that reared its ugly head is the thing that everybody was kind of saying about this matchup, right? That Houston didn't want to see those Grizzly vets that kind of know what they're doing, right? It kind of showed its head in game 7, huh? How you see the game go down?
it. Definitely did, man. It's this series and really this season has been kind of like styles make what fights, and it's just like we watched the Lakers kind of get beat up by Minnesota. Like it wasn't necessarily that Minnesota was that much better. They just beat them down, and it seemed like every time the Lakers were going to win. And I think that's what kind of happened in this series. I think that the Rockets used their youth very well. They guarded Steph Curry very well, and they made other people beat them. And unfortunately, those other people did. I mean,
It happened, right?
happened. I don't know if there's. To me, the only thing the Rockets can do is their GM needs to make some moves. I don't necessarily think they played bad or that they did anything wrong. It's just when your superstar is inconsistent and Jalen Green, and then you can't really get any scoring consistently from everybody else. So Şengün, I thought he showed his chops at times, but tonight Draymond, especially in the second half, locked him up again. And
Yeah.
I think that, like you said, the experience. I really think that the Rockets need to make some moves. I think player away from actually making a run, but they need some more offensive, weapons. They got a lot of guys out there just playing defense.
Yeah, a lot of defensive guys, and they got the pieces to like make moves too. They got the picks, they got the nice young pieces. So, if you ask me, I think something they need to do. And I was very critical of Fred early in the series, and he actually started showing up. So I don't know, he must have been looking at my Facebook or something, but I feel like the rubbers kind of met the road for Fred, and I feel like they. If I'm Houston, I'm taking Twin, I'm taking Amen, and I'm teaching him how to play point. And I'm sorry, Fred, but I'm teaching Amen how to play point. It's not like either Amen got to learn how to shoot the ball or he got to handle the ball. It's one of the two. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be off the ball like that and not be able to shoot. So if you can't shoot, at least you're going to be dishing and playing defense, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you really look at their team, they only have like 2 shooters on their team, really.
correct.
It's Jalen Green. Everybody else is kind of, Amen doesn't shoot threes, and then Dylan Brooks is, he's hit or
Wishy-washy, yep.
and can't shoot, and Şengün is hit or miss, and you got all these guys playing, and they're not putting any buckets. They're getting stops and stuff at times, but the way that the Warriors played the last like 8 minutes of the game, to me was just like, because you can look at it as a fan and be like, why weren't you guys playing like this all series?
Right.
But you can tell that Steph in particular was like, I'm going to save myself until the fourth quarter.
Right.
Just kind of was unguardable in terms. He didn't score, every basket, but just his movement, he seemed to be fresh in the fourth quarter. So I think that a big reason that they lost is just chasing him around is all game it can be a mess. So I just think he kind of held it in game 6 and then held it in the first 2 quarters, and
almost like he accepted the defense the first few quarters, and then the fourth he was like, all right, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? He accepted the decoy role, right? And then the last quarter he was like, all right, I'm gone.
Exactly. And you can do that when Buddy Hield has 19 points.
Facts. Man, he made his like third three. I looked at block. I said, the Buddy Hield game? And she said, might be. Sure enough.
Here, bro. That's the best.
9 threes later.
I mean, you can't. And I'm not a huge Buddy Hield fan, but I love that he has a guy like Jimmy Butler. Yeah. I think Jimmy Butler pushes his buttons in a good way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good for Buddy, man. It's a good story for Buddy. Unfortunately, a bad story for another buddy, James Harden. They had their game 7 last night. And, man, I don't think anyone who watches basketball or is familiar with basketball is happy or can defend James no more. You know, like, James is one of the most creative basketball players I think we've all witnessed. But unfortunately, man, there's something about this game 7, bro. It's just this 2 years in a row now.
Hey, you might want to say about 6-7 years in a row.
I'm just, geez, bro. And it's like 8 shots, B. You're not even trying, man. What are you doing out there? You just cardio guy? What does this ain't no 5K, bro? Pick it up, put the ball in the hoop, man.
You know what's crazy is that, so, you know, I don't want to throw it in your face, but you've always been a James Harden fan.
I was messing with James Harden heavy.
And I remember when he was in Houston, I was just like, man, like I like him, but I feel like he's not team oriented enough. And that doesn't mean that he doesn't get assists. He gets assists. But I feel like, you know, sometimes guys hold the ball and the guys stand in the corner all game. And it's just hard to play like
Luka.
that. Yeah, but then Heek doesn't play well off the ball.
Right.
So
Luka.
And then if you add that he's not a great defender.
Luka. Sorry. Who are we talking about? We talking about James Harden, Luka, same person? It's like the Spider-Man meme, bro. Like,
to me, he was like Jalen Green. I mean, you know, and even more so, it's like he's your point guard. It's not just he's just somebody else to score, because Kawhi played decent yesterday, but when that avalanche hit,
it didn't have nobody else to help him out.
Didn't have nobody else to help him out. He can't be sitting there hitting them twos all game. But I mean, I just look at it as this is kind of what James Harden has done. I mean, you know, I don't know if he's trying to do what Steph was doing. I don't know if he's tired. I just feel like you can watch the game and tell, like, yeah, he's not scoring, but he doesn't seem engaged.
Man was thinking about them Cancun strip clubs, because we know he was thinking. That man was thinking about throwing them dollars, boy. He wasn't thinking about no basketball. That's 8 shots, bruh.
Yeah, and I mean, the other issue is your season's on the line.
You know what I'm saying? And it's home or not. He was thinking about home, B. I know it. He was.
Yeah, and then you know, Kawhi was playing okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else really was doing anything.
Nope.
And I think he has to notice that. But he
has to know the composition of his team, bro. Like, you gotta go for at least a dub and 10 assists.
Yeah. And I'm with you. If you're the other superstar, both of my superstars need to be taking like 20 shots. I mean,
off the rip.
If that's a lot to people, but it's like, come on, man. You're probably going to be 11 for 24, and you're going to shoot 6 free throws.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you're going to get your points. And I don't know. I think with James, I heard people were saying he was talking about retiring or something.
I just put it out there on my Facebook, like, James Harden retiring? I mean, because I don't know what else. That's what that screams to me. That type of effort in a game 7. You're 35 years old. It's win or go home, bruh. You don't know how many more cracks you're gonna have at this. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? How healthy is Kawhi gonna be like this again? Like let's keep it a buck, bruh. And you just gonna sit there and take a boo-boo on live TV? Like you seem like you not really worried about basketball no more. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Again, you hate being that guy, but it's like when we was growing up, our coach would have took his ass out the game.
You gone, bruh. I'm gonna figure someone else out who's gonna put the ball in the hoop.
Yeah, been like, look, man, you're not doing what we need you to do. It's unexplainable for me. I didn't watch too much of the game last night. I saw the second half, so I didn't get to see the first half. But it is odd that they had their chance with Houston, but with the injuries between Chris Paul and stuff like that, I don't know where you go from here with him. He doesn't seem like the type of guy that wants to come off the bench for anybody again.
No.
He wants his bag too. He wants to make his money.
Yep.
So to me, it's like, I'm with you. I don't think he should necessarily retire, but I don't see a championship run or, Kawhi is on his, no pun intended, but he's on his last legs. He's one of my favorite players of all time, but how I am, I'm a tough guy, and it's hard trying to defend somebody that is always hurt, and getting hurt. It's 2-2 in the playoffs, and you're hurt the rest of the series. Like, damn, bro.
Right.
Go out on your shield, and I even think that's why people were mad. With even though LeBron's 40, I think that's how people felt the other night, where it's like, man, now he does have a torn MCL. I think that hit from DiVincenzo did. You kind of watch it, you can see
that came out that he got a torn MCL.
Yep.
Damn.
And
I missed that.
I don't.
That's what Baba was talking about. His knee. Yeah. I missed that.
Yeah, he got hit by DiVincenzo, and it looked like a flop.
I remember that.
If you watch it, you'll see his knee kind of jar a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he got up real gingerly.
Yeah, he always does.
Right.
He always does, but I think those are the type of hits that it's hard to tell if you're a fan, because he's such a fucking mammoth human being, and DiVincenzo looks like he's our size.
Right.
So I think people were like, oh, well, that was a flop. And it's like, nah, I think he wasn't expecting to get hit. I think DiVincenzo was a little upset because he got hit in his face and laid it to LeBron, and LeBron he's getting old, man. And, it is what it is. You get older, you can kind of see it when he's playing. He doesn't have the same lift and the same takeoff all the time. I think, I just think they got beat up, and that was the difference in the series. I mean, and the Timberwolves shot the worst 3-point game in NBA playoffs.
And all of a sudden, that's their when did they turn into the Celtics this year? That was Ant shoot too many threes this year for me. I'm sorry about it.
Hey, I tweeted about it. I'm like, man, I want him to be one of my favorite players, which that don't matter or not, to him or anything. But it's like, man, you 0 for 11.
Still putting it up, though.
Think about when you 0 for 5. Over.
Go get an easy one.
Go get an easy one. Yeah. And he got in the paint at will.
Yeah.
Against the Lakers. I've never seen. We'll just talk about that game. I have to say it, Heek. I have never seen somebody play such bad defense.
Yeah.
That Luka Doncic play. I mean, I know everybody's on JJ Redick's case, which right so, especially after that game 4 shit he did. But it's like, man, I don't know how to explain how the way I was feeling watching people go around him. I've never seen an NBA coach call a timeout within 5 minutes of the game and say, we got to go zone.
Right. Immediately.
We have to go zone immediately. And then to me, that gives a guy like Ant an opportunity to have a night off. And, he missed shots, but he had 11 rebounds and I think he had 8 assists. And if you watch the game back, every time that the Lakers, it would always either be Luka going on a run by himself, LeBron would go on a run by himself, or Austin Reeves might hit a couple shots. Every time that happened, Anthony Edwards would switch to that person and nullify their next little shot, and then it would their heat meter would go down a little bit. I thought that was interesting. I really thought that was smart. I thought that he was looking at it like, damn, my shot's off. What else am I going to do?
Got to go get it on the other end.
Got to get on the other end. And I think people like James Harden, they forget about that, man. If you're only going to shoot 8 shots, man, then I need some.
I need something on the defense, bro.
You know, like, like Luka's not playing defense, but he's got 30.
Right.
So I can kind of bounce with it, but bro, you are. I'm
8 shots and giving up 30, bruh.
James Harden. I don't want to trash him, but I think he's just going to be a guy that was super talented and
yes,
and didn't get a ring. He's still a first ballot Hall of Famer.
100%. Again, revolutionized the game. All these little step back threes, like obviously Curry's at the forefront of this 3-point revolution, but let's not forget James Harden is what, number 3 on the all-time 3-point list?
Or I think it goes because I don't know where Clay is at.
I think Harden's over Clay.
I think he is over Clay. I'm pretty
sure. Yeah, I think he is over Clay.
Pretty sure it's Steph, and then it's Ray, and then it's Reggie, and then it's no, I think James Harden passed Reggie.
I think past Reggie, yeah. I think it's Steph, Ray, James.
Yep. So I mean, he's historically a great player. One of the best bucket getters that we've ever seen.
Yep. But I think he's gonna go down in that category of like, if you need a bucket, who do you take? But then someone's gonna be like, yeah, unless it's game 7. You know what I'm saying? Like 10 seconds, who you getting to take a bucket? Somebody gonna say James Harden. Somebody gonna say, yeah, stipulation game 7. Now you cooked. So
yeah, it's just interesting. It always is weird, but I will say this playoffs is looking like the changing of the guard.
For sure.
It really is. And I'm not just saying that because legends are losing and stuff like that, but you're just looking kind of right now. It's like, even though the Warriors just won that series, I mean, the real Warriors probably would have won that in 5 or 6.
Right. Yeah. And let's keep it a buck too. Like, without Jimmy, they're not even in that position.
Yeah, they're not in the play-in. They're not in the playoffs. I think they lose in the play-in.
Mm-hmm. So we could be. What if we just saw all the old folk just start teaming up, bro, like the Avengers?
Hey man, you know how I feel about that shit. I know. It don't bother me when they're older.
They gotta stop the YNs, bro.
Look, you know what I noticed is the YNs will stop themselves.
Facts.
We'll see what happens. I think that this series with the Timberwolves and the Warriors is going to be real interesting because
dude. Gobert might average 20 and 20, bro.
Yeah, but they might hack a Gobert, and try to keep him out the game. And if they struggle at all to guard Golden State as well, that could be another issue. So it's going to be.
I'm scared for Golden State, bro. Naz Reid could eat too.
But then the real thing to me is nobody on that team matches up with Ant-Man. And it's kind of the issue that I've seen with teams in the years with LeBron.
Yeah, who guards him? Jimmy.
So Jimmy's going to have to guard him, but then
gotta be Jimmy.
You're talking about Jaden McDaniels, and you're talking about Naz Reid.
They got plenty of people to put on Curry to run at Curry.
Exactly, Mike Conley, DiVincenzo,
Jaden, NAU or NAW, I mean.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what the Warriors' defensive plan is. But then at the same time, to see who leads for Minnesota other than Ant-Man, because they just cast, man. They got a supporting cast.
Yeah. And it was wild because I think that was the team everybody like. They weren't never really playing up to their potential in the season, but it was the team that everybody was like, I mean, they were just a game away from the finals last year. Like, maybe we don't want to see this team. And then sure enough, like, see you Lakers in 5. Bye.
I have
in 5, boy.
The way that they looked when Luka got there, I don't think going to Philly all over again, where I'm like, I mean, as much as I like Anthony Davis and the Lakers, I don't think he's a top 5 player in the league, and I don't know if he's a top 10 player right now. That's just due to his availability, to be honest with
Absolutely, 100%.
you. And even with him, it's not like the Lakers were stopping people. I mean, I it's going to be interesting just to see where things go. I mean, the Clippers have a great roster and just can't advance for some reason. Phoenix is about to blow up. Yeah, I don't know what, Houston is, if they make the right moves, they'll be fine. Denver has, the next round with Jokic as their coach. So
He been coaching since they fired Buddy. That's the craziest thing. More Jackie Moon looking at
hey,
Buddy
man,
out there going crazy.
he's going crazy. And, it's weird. The Nuggets ain't healthy. And I felt like the Clippers didn't force anything. Like Aaron Gordon was hurt this series. Michael Porter Jr.'s shoulder was
I'm
hurt.
putting Michael Porter Jr. in every action, bro.
Everything. You seen what the Rockets tried to do to Steph.
Yeah.
It worked a little bit. So I don't know. Sometimes you wonder what's going on. I know it's hard to make adjustments in real time, but I just feel like if you're watching film beforehand, it'll kind of give away what teams are going to do to you. So Golden State should know right away. Minnesota's going to be physical.
Yeah, super physical. They're gonna see how Sengun ate this series, and that's just, I see them coming out game 1, and man,
it's a bad match.
It's a bad matchup for Golden State, dude.
It really is. Steph is my second favorite player of all time.
I think he knew it when he was talking in the post game tonight too. He said, "No, yes, well, it was a chance. We're gonna go in there and try and do it again." I was like,
"No, Steph, I missed that." Oh.
Yeah, bro. He was looking. He was like, "You just won Game 7, bro. Smile."
Say stuff like that when you light skin. People will empathize with you like that when you light skin. But they finna go face the all black team. They ain't got
black Air Force energy incarnate.
All right, DiVincenzo, the light skin on their team. What they talking?
And still got a pair.
Yep, exactly. Speaking of DiVincenzo, Heek, I gotta do this. Who am I?
Hold on, do it again. I don't know. I'm shook. I don't know.
My man's Asura Thompson.
Bruh. Cross that boy into Juneteenth.
Man, dude.
That boy into the future. Cross that boy into the future.
That was one of those plays where, as an athlete, when Cade somehow missed everything on his layup attempt, he missed the rim and everything. You guys called the timeout, and I was like, Jalen Brunson has not missed really many shots today.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get us, and I don't know how. But when the possession started, I was kind of weirded out because I knew Thompson had been guarding him really close all series. But in my head, I was like, this is situational, man. You got to kind of use your 6'5", 6'6" frame, force him into, drop the paint.
Listen, I was talking to my brother about this, and let me just set the stage for those of y'all that don't know. Avery, Detroit sports fan, Detroit Lions. You see, got the Michigan shirt on, Detroit Pistons. He all about that. I'm a Knicks fan, so I was talking to my brother about this, and it's like, I don't know who didn't communicate what, but I also feel like NBA players got to be aware of this. But like, this is a anybody but you situation, right? Like anybody but the guy named Jalen Brunson, right? Like, this dude is literally the clutch player of the year. We not gonna send no other body at him. He gotta give up the rock, bro. Like, you're getting double teamed off the rip, bro. I don't care who's wide open. I don't care. You're not going to take the shot because you know he wasn't going to pass.
Exactly. And then it was a clear out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there was ISO at the top, and I just didn't like how
Tobias Harris was guarding Miles McBride a little too tight, buddy.
look,
Listen, if Miles McBride make the shot to win it,
this will be it. You know, I'm not a fan of Evil J. Cole. That's what I call Tobias.
Okay, yeah, he got a gun. That's the first person that has to go in the off season.
You know, and he's probably still going to be back next year. I think we'll probably have one more year with this team. I just felt like it was situational, and we needed to do something for the situation, and we didn't. I think we just stuck to our guns. And I like Bickerstaff, but he is right now, and I like Mark Jackson, but he's our Mark Jackson. Like, we need another coach that's gonna, you know, because we're missing Jaden Ivey. I think he's what we do. He'd be a great perimeter defender, but a great athlete. You know, just another person to help Cade. But sometimes I worry about Cade. I think he overdoes it a lot. We went and watched them play this past season when they played Boston, and Malik Beasley was the reason that we really, you know, were in the game. But I don't know. I want him to be more aggressive trying to score.
I was thinking that same shit, bro.
You know, he overpasses it, and
yes,
I'm like, man, there are certain times when you need the ball. Like, he had a chance to score the bucket at the end of game 7, or was it game 7? I don't think it was game 7. I think it was game 4 or 5. I think it was game 4. He had a chance.
Yeah, because they only went 6.
Yeah, he had a chance from the free throw line to tie the game or put us ahead, and he missed it. And I thought it was a pretty easy shot. But I'm watching him turn the ball over a lot and, you know, miss some chippy shots and pass up on some chippy shots. And I'm just like, man, like, he's probably averaging 22, 23 points a game. If he could up that average to 27, 28.
And still give the 8, 9, 10 assists.
Yeah, I think that makes everybody better. We're super young, super inexperienced, with the exception of Evil J. Cole. I'm not going to say his
name. That's y'all vet, boy.
We're going to pick him up when he left. I was tweeting about that. Please do not pay him. A funny story, when we went to the Pistons Celtics game, we were walking out, and I was mad at how he played because he took the first 7 shots and missed all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were down by 20 in the first quarter. Malik Beasley brings us back, and we were winning for a little bit, but we lost by 5 or 6 or whatever. Well, me and Brittany are walking out, and I'm talking, and all I hear is these white boys. And they're all like, "Yeah, man, fuck Tobias Harris." You know, and I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Man, we didn't want him." And they're like, "Yeah." And then the one white boy goes, "Yeah, I wish he was here right now. I would tell him to his face." And I looked at him and I said, "You know, that man will throw you off the."
Yeah, sound good.
Yeah,
sound good.
See that 6'9" body walk up.
Yeah, boy, just step on you. You ever see the Bug's Life?
I don't know, man. That we still, with Cade, we're still 3 years away.
Yeah.
We're not better than you guys right now, especially getting Cat. Cat didn't play particularly well in game, you know, but he still had
15 boards.
15 rebounds.
It's man, bro, 10 points, man. Look, give me 15 and 20 and 15 at least, bro.
Yeah, but Cat does that too.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm hoping that having somebody like Jalen Brunson, somebody that's super tough like that, because really that's Jalen Brunson's game. Is, you know, you could tell when Jalen Brunson's playing when he has that East Coast game. But he has a wiggle.
Bump you a little bit, get into you.
Yes, he plays like a 10 times better version than Gilla the Kid.
I'm weak.
He just has a wiggle that even if you're tall, he's gonna get separation.
You know, someone pointed this out. Again, it might have been my brother. Shout out my brother. He low key kind of played like Luka. Like you can tell they be training. You can tell they train together in Dallas.
Yeah,
because they both do that little bump game, try to get you to foul. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it's always weirder though seeing it on somebody that's
shorter,
with 6'1" and he's fucking shooting the ball like I can't
bump
remember.
you fade away. Like how's it a 6'1" dude getting his fadeaway off?
I mean, he was out here bumping Thompson off of him.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Knicks. I always think that it's better in the NBA when the Lakers and the Knicks are good.
The NBA is cracking when the Knicks are good, man.
The only thing I hope is that Thibodeau doesn't do what he does, and
it's inevitable.
I'm hoping you guys at least.
It's inevitable.
I don't think
when we get swept by the Celtics, he'll get fired.
But you guys have played Boston pretty well this season, haven't you?
No. I think the average margin of victory has been like 15 points. We haven't won one. We 0-4. It's just the only thing that can help us in this matchup in this playoffs is the fact that the Celtics are kind of limping into this matchup, right? Drew Holiday's hammy, Jaylen Brown knee, Tatum wrist, right? How is all that going to transfer over to this next series, especially when, we just got the Celtics want to play a finesse game. Yep. But we just got out of this Pistons series talking about rough them up. So I want us to take a little bit of this series we just had into this Celtics series, and I think that would help a lot. Drag them down to the mud, man. Make them play ugly. They got to play with us. Like don't let them get out there in transition, start letting that ball pop around because then you cook. Now you're in their world. But slow it down, grind it down, make them play half court offense, and then same with us, just play really good half court offense. Or maybe we might get in transition actually because their half court defense is pretty good.
It's always tough to beat a team when Derek White and freaking Pritchard and Al Horford and the guys that don't show up in the stat sheet all the time are really, really good.
Yeah.
This is one of the best. This Celtics team reminds me of it. Early 2000 Lakers. I mean, they got two guys that I don't want to say they both average about 25, but in the playoffs, they probably both average about that. They can switch it on and off. If one guy's got 8, 30, the other guy might have 11 pounds and 8 assists. But then to see Derek White score 60.
I was going to say, and then you got Derek White and Porzingis and like.
They don't even really need him.
They don't at all. Porzingis is like that, like, you know what I'm saying, when you get the dessert cut and it's a fire-ass piece of pie and they like, hey, you want the Cool Whip? You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, hell yeah, I want the Cool Whip, bro. This gonna be fire with it or without, you know what I'm saying? But shit, I want the Cool Whip, cut. Porzingis the Cool Whip. It's like we don't even need you, dog, but you here.
But it's just weird to watch a team that they've had 3 different coaches in the last 5 years.
Yeah. And
their team's been pretty much the same. If you add
Mazzulla been there for.
No, they had Ime.
Right, but
and then they had
they won with Mazzulla.
And then they had Ime before that, but then they had the white dude that went up to the.
You right, Brad Stevens. You right.
They had him, and they've had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum that entire time.
Yeah.
And Derek White.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of stability. What I will say is that they rely on the 3-point ball like Golden State, and it'll be interesting if they match up with somebody and that kind of has their, it hits their Achilles heel. Soda or Denver, it'd be interesting to see them play Golden State. I think they'd beat them, but I really think that Minnesota and Denver. I don't want to throw OKC under the bus. They're really good, but they got to prove it to everybody. It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with Westbrook. If he smells any blood, he's going to try to go for the kill. And I've never been a diehard Russell Westbrook fan. I think
I
that,
have.
yeah, no, I know you love Brody. I think that I admire how he plays in this time. There's just not a lot of guys that play with the heart he plays with. Now, I do think he does a lot of dumb ass stuff. Missing bunny layups, which I don't think that's on purpose. But just,
No.
some of the turnovers, some of the technical fouls, some of the defensive mistakes that he has at times. And then he's kind of inconsistent. One game he might give him a triple double, and then the next game he might give him a single double.
Right.
It just depends, but he deserves a ring.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that about like James Harden.
No.
Necessarily believe that about a guy like a Carmelo. Even though I love Carmelo, I just think the way that Russell Westbrook's played the game, he deserves to at least get back to the finals.
Yeah.
Because he's going to give it his all. And
yeah.
The only other person I could think of that I feel like for that right now is maybe Jimmy Butler. Just because he's led some teams, but I really would love to see Russell Westbrook get a ring this year.
Me too. I don't know if you saw that his interview after the game, but like the thing that I really like and appreciate about Russ now is the fact that he's almost embraced, not almost, he has embraced like who he is, and he's almost embraced the slander, right? He's embraced the oh man, Russ missing layups. Oh man, Russ missing where he was in the interview talking about, look, man, I know my role. I'm an agent of chaos.
Yeah,
He is like, that's basically him saying, I play hard.
Yep.
And when I play hard, you might get a turnover because I'm running fast. Right? Or you might get a turnover because I'm really excited and I missed the layup. But you could get a made three. Because I'm gonna shoot this bit. You could get somebody put in the bucket because I'm finna dunk they ass. You know what I'm saying? So like, he basically said that, and I was like, hell yeah, Russ, that's right, man. Like that's exactly what you are. You're an Asian calf. Don't never let nobody forget that you are a league MVP, brother. You
a really bad team.
Hoop in this league. Okay. Hoop in this league.
Bad team. And I'll have to say lastly about Russ, just again the heart he plays with. Like we play in a time, man, where dudes want to play less games, and Russ could have easily retired. Would superstar been moved around as many times as he has in the past 4 or 5 years would have retired by now. I mean, getting shipped to Washington at that one point, I was like, oh man, that's like going to Cleveland Browns. Like
that's for sure what that is. That's NBA purgatory.
Right. And then you get traded to the in NBA champions from a couple years ago. And I just think he knew, like, if I could just make it through this season, get to the playoffs, then we'll be fine and I'll have a chance. So I mean, he really hasn't had a chance to win a ring since KD left.
No.
And that's been 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about somebody who's gave us, triple doubles for 3-4 years in a row. Nobody alive has really ever even seen that. And then on top of it, to go to all these different teams and keep failing and to keep going and to still have that same energy. That's
why you gotta admire guys like Russ, man. You ain't never gonna let you gotta admire people that don't let bad days get them down. You gotta keep pushing, just keep swimming, like they say. So, and Russ is the definition of that.
Yeah, you should tweet that. You gotta admire people that. Yeah, I like that. But you just. And I'm happy for him, and I hope he gets a chance. But let's be real. I don't have anybody to root for anymore. I mean, my Pistons is out. I'm glad we had a. I do like. I am a fan of Ant-Man, but right now Steph Curry is my favorite player left. So I guess I'm gonna be a Warriors fan. I don't know.
Gonna hope they make a little run, huh?
I, I really want Ant-Man to just take over, so that there's no discussions. But at the same time, like I said, this has been a very competitive first round. In
The
my
West wide open.
The West is crazy, man. And OKC didn't. Well, they swept their first, so they're going to see some real. With the Nuggets and them, it's going to be. I think the Nuggets are better than them.
I do too.
So
I
it's
don't
going to
know
be.
who's guarding Jokic, bro.
What's his name? Isaiah
Hardenstein?
Hardenstein.
Come on, man. Come on, man. It ain't gonna be Chet.
Yeah, no, it's
Boy,
not.
Chet built like one of them, them potato sticks, boy. It's like a chip, but it's a stick, a potato stick, but it's a chip. That's Chet built like one of them things, boy. Yeah.
Hey, we went to New York a couple years ago. And we went to the Brooklyn, played Denver.
Okay.
I've been to probably 8 or 9 NBA games, I would say. Jokic is the best player I've ever seen live.
I bet.
There was times where he was beating people down the floor, and you could see how hard he was running.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy shit, like that motherfucker is moving.
Mm-hmm.
And just he could do it. Nobody could stop. Nobody could speed him up. Nobody could slow him down. He was hitting timely shots. Like, it was just kind of weird. Like, I was in my head, I was like, is this an NBA team they're playing?
They out here playing the Washington Generals. That's crazy.
And Brooklyn played good. They made it a game, but it was just like me and Brittany were looking at each other like, man, that dude, he can't nobody move him.
Yeah, solid.
And then he hustles. That's the underestimated thing about him. He's not a great defender, but he hustles. He'll outrun other bigs. He brought the ball up the floor like 5, 6.
Right.
Like, I'm like,
real point guard.
He's a monster, man. I would have to say he's probably the best player in the league. That's just me.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, just watching.
Yeah.
But I think you give Shea the MVP this year. I think it's
they have to, just because they messed up last year, bro. He should have got it last year, but they was on some weird shit and gave it to Embiid, and then it was like, well, now he don't play, so it's like they should have gave it to Shea last year and then Joker this year, but
you know how it is. That was Joel's first MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they gave it to him, because he lost to Giannis, he lost to Joker.
Mm-hmm. But I hate that the MVPs almost turn into like a narrative in the NFL and the NBA. Yeah. It's like it's your turn. You finally made it. It's like you're anointed award now, right? Like, you are part of the upper echelon here. Like, like Josh Allen, cool, bro. But Lamar Jackson had a better year than you, buddy. I'm sorry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think for me, I can't think of a time. So when I was a little kid and I first started watching, there was no question that like Michael Jordan should have won the MVP the last 3 years he played, seemingly, and they gave it to I think he won one of them, but I think Karl Malone got it. And it was kind of like, okay, Karl Malone gets it. Then you look at the years where Kobe got one.
And Steve Nash. With the Nash one, but see, that's what frustrates me, because it's like we can't keep changing the criteria of what the MVP is, because for the longest the MVP was the best player on the best team.
Yep.
Best player on the best team is MVP. All right, cool. Then people started getting greatness fatigue, right? It happened with Mike. So then it was like all of a sudden the MVP actually means the most valuable player to their team. So that's why Karl Malone won, because if you take Karl Malone away, then the Jazz suck. It's like, Okay, that's not true with the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? And then same thing with Kobe and Nash, right? Like Kobe winning a bunch. Okay, well, greatness fatigue. We're gonna give it to Nash, and again, a fair statement because if you take Nash off the teams, they probably suck. But it's like, why are we changing the definition again?
Exactly. And I think for me with the Steve Nash, my issue was that those Suns teams were fucking good. You had Amari Stoudemire. You had I think Grant Hill was on those teams, even though he was older.
I was gonna say, yeah, they're other side of the hill, Grant Hill.
Channing Frye was a great stretch four for them. I don't think they had Joe Johnson. They had another Johnson that was pretty good, but they were the number 1 seed like 2 years in a row. So I get that, but for me, it's like if Kobe wasn't playing for the Lakers at that time, they weren't even going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like he was coming out every night, he was doing the Russell Westbrook, and they didn't even want to give Russell Westbrook an MVP. If that Nuggets team wouldn't have made the playoffs, which they did on the last game on a game winner by Russell Westbrook, then he probably wouldn't even won the MVP, which is crazy because he brought that stood since the Civil Rights Movement.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, man. It's flip-floppy. It's weird how they do it, how they just decide, and then it's weird who gets to vote, in my opinion.
Right.
I just think that's weird.
Why isn't it a peer vote?
I don't know. They got people voting from other generations.
They got talking heads voting.
Exactly. They got
TV personalities voting.
Media members voting. Like, are you kidding me?
I don't care about that.
So
what does his peers think about him?
Yeah, and you know what everybody knows they think about him. So I don't know. They're like Shaq. He should have won. He should have won like 4 MVPs from what I saw.
Yeah.
Like nobody hurt him.
Yeah.
How are you going to not give the MVP to the person that nobody believes?
It's unguardable, right?
And so I don't know. I agree with you. At the same time, I think they just kind of do what they do. I think they kind of try to spare us. So like when Michael Jordan did to win the MVP, it drove him crazy, and it gave us better television product. It's not the same. You can't say that about Joel Embiid. Joel wants that MVP. As much as he wants that MVP. And there's a lot of guys that want that MVP, man. So yeah, I think that's Ant-Man's next step.
Yeah, for sure. Gotta
get an MVP in the regular season, and that means you gotta play consistently good.
Mm-hmm. That's 28. At least 28, and then how he plays, maybe like 7 and 5, 28, 7 and 5.
Don't have to be them LeBron numbers. When LeBron, I'm 28, 7 and 5, 28, 7 and 7.
Yeah.
He's getting better at passing. So
he is. He's a very willing passer. I appreciate that about his game.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree with you though for the most part on the MVP. It's turned into a weird thing. And it's like
how narrative war now.
Yeah, it's like Jokic and Shea are on even terms to me, but it's like Shea's team is the number 1 seed.
This is my only thing this is my argument with the Shea Jokic thing is I think that there has been a lazy narrative created around saying like, without Shea, OKC sucks. Like that's what people say. And it's like, I don't accept that. Like I watched a lot of basketball this year and I saw times where OKC, their B squad, Shea didn't even touch the floor and they're beating teams by 20. Like Shea didn't even touch the floor. They're beating the Phoenix Suns starters by 20.
And Chet was out.
Yes, dude. It was, I think that game, the leading scorer was like Aaron Wiggins for like 28, bruh. And it's like, and they're beating Book and KD and shit and Beal. And then you go over here and you watch the Nuggets and Jokic don't play and they're losing to the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, I guess a good take. That is very true. That is
So
true.
it's like I understand Shea is the straw that stirs the drink, but I do think there was a lazy narrative created around Shea's not there, they suck, when it's not that at all. Like I'm gonna do some research into actually like the number and the win and the like point differential so that I can keep that in the chamber whenever anybody runs that narrative again. I'm gonna be like, well, they're actually 3-0 with a point differential of 22 points when Shea doesn't play. So like
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a debater for the most part. That team is good.
it is. It's a
Jalen
good team, man.
Williams is really good.
He's good.
He's really good. The other Jalen Williams is hurt, and he's good.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they got another two, like Wiggins is starting on 10 teams in the league, right? Isaiah Joe can probably start on 10 teams in the league.
yeah, he's nice.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like the only reason those two don't start is because they need Dort in there for defense. You know what I'm saying? They don't need them dudes offense. So Dort starts because he plays defense, and now he can shoot the three a little bit too. That boy be chopping. So it's like
Dort's one of those guys that I try not to hate on. So
me too. I try not to. He's worked really a lot on his shot. He's worked a lot.
So, but he's a guy where their team is good enough. One of those guys where I feel like a team would expose him.
On the
defensive end, if it meant, if they played a Golden State, I think that he would probably end up guarding Steph more.
For sure. Ain't no more than like he's their best defender. He's their best perimeter defender.
Exactly. And I just feel like it's not the best matchup for Oklahoma City, especially in the playoffs. I think that they would figure something out, and it would be like, okay, we're going to put Shea on Steph, or are we going to put Jalen on Steph, like somebody a little bit bigger. But if they play Minnesota, I think they have a better chance. I just think it's a better matchup. Like, I just think they match better against Minnesota.
Okay.
Maybe a Golden State. And really, for me, it's Golden State.
I don't think we're going to find out, bro. Like I said, I think Joker finna go burp them babies.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think others are going to put pressure on Oklahoma City's others. I think Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, man, you know what happens when he starts cooking. We just seen what happens. If Jamal Murray gets on, the Nuggets don't lose.
Very hard to beat.
Yeah. So Jamal Murray looks like he looked the last 3 games of the series and has looked at times in his career, and he's healthy. I mean, he's one of the better point guards, even though Jokic is kind of their point guard. He's one of the better point guards in the league. Definitely one of the better scoring point guards. So,
yeah.
I'll say. So I'm gonna have to get out of here and go to bed.
No, you good. I feel we've been on here going crazy.
But I wanted to say, let's do let's just pick our next round. So Indiana got one tonight.
Oh, like who we think's gonna win in this next round out of the teams?
Yeah, I worded that wrong. Yeah, who we think's gonna
advance? Okay.
I
had a scorching hot take about that Cleveland, Indiana, and I'm not gonna repeat it because it is immediately wrong. I did not see Indiana winning game 1.
Well, so you're missing Darius Garland.
This is facts.
He can be gone sometimes. But I think just the camaraderie and the chemistry, and like tonight, Tyrese Halliburton did whatever he wanted. And I think that's just from having that, they've played probably 4 times this year. He probably knows how to defend it a little bit better than guys like Ty Jerome and some of these other guys that are playing it. So Cleveland's gonna have to play defense if they want to be in this series.
Yeah, and that was their whole. That's the weird thing is that's their calling card, bro. That's what they supposed to be good at, right?
Yep.
And
And
it's like just got carved up, man.
carved up tonight. I will say Aaron Nesmith had like 17
and Nemhard too.
yeah. So like I think that tonight Indy was just ready to play. They were hitting their. But I do think that it's like, man, you guys better get on it because who knows how long Darius Garland's going to be out. And Indiana is a good team. I mean, last year they won the first round series.
And they were like, even though they got swept by Boston in the Eastern Conference, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals, people forget.
Yep.
And even though they got swept by Boston, there was a couple of those games that could have went their way.
Could have went their way. And with a coach like Carlisle, man. Carlisle is probably the most underrated coach in the league. I think he was great in Dallas for all those, even when they early got Luka. He was good.
What if Carlisle seen this Luka shit before anybody else? Maybe, yes, bro. Maybe that's why he left there, bruh.
No, I think he wanted to go to Indy. Indiana was his first coaching job.
Okay, all right. I'm seeing my conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Luka don't be passing the ball. I'm gonna go over to Tyrese Halliburton. Everybody touch the ball with him.
You might be right. That's just my take. I know he got that job from Isaiah Thomas when I was younger.
Okay.
Back when Reggie Miller and them were good.
Yeah.
They had who they have. They had Rick Smits and
Rick Smits, lefty.
Yep, he was big as hell.
Big as hell.
But I don't know. I think Indiana is better than people. They're better than people think. They got a deep bench. Obi Toppin has been playing really good this last month or two. Ben Mathurin can go off at any point and give you 20.
He needs more tick.
He does. I agree with you. And then are they missing? I think they're missing somebody. Either way, they're hitting on all cylinders. And if you got a point guard that's playing like Halliburton has been playing, I mean, you can't really go wrong. He did exactly tonight what he needed to. He attacked them when they were wounded. And maybe Garland coming back, if he gets back, because it sounds like it's a toe injury, which, I don't know if that'll help them out or not. But I'm still going to go with Cleveland. I think Donovan Mitchell will pull them through. He had an okay game tonight, kind of waited too long to come alive.
He was kind of chucking shit too.
Yeah. And I mean,
1 for 11 from 3, I think.
Yeah, and I gotta give a shout out to Pascal Siakam, man. I keep forgetting it. Pascal Siakam is like the Swiss Army knife that if you throw it in the trash can, you're gonna wake up and it's gonna be next to your bed. That motherfucker. If he is not getting rebounds, he's scoring points. If he's not playing defense, if he's not doing any of that, he's playmaking. Like, he's just a great outlet to have. Like, he just plays so free.
Do everything.
Yeah, he'll shoot threes and go to. I'm like, man, this dude does everything.
Skinny Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Scottie Pippen. He really does, man. I think I just like his game and where he fits for a guy like Tyrese Halliburton. So.
Yeah.
But taking the Cavs, I think the Cavs will win this in 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Cavs in. I'm gonna say Cavs in 6.
Cavs in 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll let you go first on this next one. We'll stay in the East and we'll go with the Knicks and the Celtics.
Yeah, we probably getting swept, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I hate to say it, man, but we might could get one in the Garden, but I'm probably gonna just say 4-0, man. I hate to say it.
I mean, what do you think you guys have any advantages anywhere?
Inside, if Cat plays well. I mean, like, who's guarding Cat? Like, I mean, Al Horford, he play good defense, I suppose. So, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, They got bodies to guard Brunson. It's not like Mikal and OG got to have crazy series.
Okay. Feel you.
Like they got to put on. I need 20 from each of them every night. I don't know, man. It's tough, bruh.
I'll give you. I agree with you. I think Boston will sweep them. Actually, I'll give them a gentleman's.
I was gonna say we might get one. Like maybe Brunson goes for 67 points and we get one.
I'll give you the gentleman's sweep. I don't know. I think the Knicks again. They're getting Thibodeau'd, man. They
gotta go, bruh.
They don't have a lot of depth, and then he only plays 6 guys.
He gotta go. Mike Malone on deck.
Hey, I heard that Mike Malone might, I don't know if he'd be interested in it, but
Mike Malone on deck. Send him.
What would happen to your life if you brought the Knicks out of I don't want to say obscurity because you guys have been doing good recently, but the Knicks,
king of the world, buddy. You king of the world.
So we got the Celtics both in a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah. Well, I'll give us one.
Okay, so we'll go to the West and we'll do the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder first.
I got Denver in 6.
Denver in 6.
Mm-hmm. I think they steal one early, one of these first 2 games.
Yeah, I got Denver in 6 as well. I don't know. I just don't know what they're gonna do with Jokic.
No answer.
Jamal Murray gets off. I don't think there's gonna be any way that they can stop it. So
they don't have anybody to guard Aaron Gordon either.
Yeah, and he's one of them sneaky dudes where it's like
sneaky ones that could go for a 20-25 on you real quick.
Right, he's like a traditional 4, but I will say you could tell he's been working on his game because the man's been shooting that 3 this year.
He has been shooting that thing.
Better than I've seen him his whole career. So
is Aaron Gordon the best dunker spot player right now in the league? The dude who plays that dunker spot? Because, bruh, I don't know how many times a game I see that Jokic to Aaron Gordon alley-oop from the lane to the dunker spot. It's like peanut butter and jelly, bro.
He has to be because if we're being realistic, just based on size, that should be Michael Porter Jr.
Right.
But Aaron Gordon is just a natural 4.
He is.
Player on the inside, and he just happens to be ridiculously athletic.
Can touch the roof.
Man, so I think the Nuggets are better than the Thunder, and I think they got way more experience. Now, it will be interesting to see if coaching plays a part at all. Again, Jokic is coaching really for these.
Exactly.
Don't be fooled by the media, people.
No, real ones know he's coaching the team. We seen the clip of him with the clipboard, bro. He was. They was locked in too. They was not looking, boy. They was locked in. Yes, sir.
You see that young coach get up there with the messed up teeth talking. Just know that's
what Jokic said.
He's not even speaking for Jokic, I don't think. I think as honestly as he can, and then just going back in the locker room, and Jokic is like, "What they say?" And he's like, "I." It's your spot. Tell me what you.
Right. You tell me.
So we both got Denver in 6, and then lastly, I think I agree with you a little bit. We've seen Jimmy Butler just have these fucking Superman-like performances, man. And I think that he knows, this is my chance. There's not going to be another. Next year, we're going to be older.
Mm-hmm.
Our team's probably going to be different. And where am I going to be at? What am I going to be doing? Am I still going to be in Golden State? I know they're saying that it's supposed to be one more year, but the way the NBA works, who knows? I think the Warriors are going to play really well. I just think it's a different type of game. I think Houston has Fred and Dylan Brooks and a few guys that have been in those wars with Golden State, because everybody knows Steph owns the Rockets. Like Steph and Draymond Green own the Rockets. It's been going on for 10 years. And I just think that that's part of the things that the Rockets dealt with tonight. I think that the Warriors are going to play really good early against Minnesota.
Okay.
And I think as the series goes along, I think it'll be similar to the Lakers. I think Steph will get off early, maybe those first 2 or 3 games. But I think Minnesota will, by committee, I think that they will beat Golden State in 6 games.
I agree, Minnesota in 6, and I'm only giving them 6 strictly out of respect for the names of Curry and Draymond, and that's literally the only reason I'm giving them a game, like because I want to say Wolves in 5.
Yeah, that's what I
want to say Wolves in 5, but just because of their names, y'all gonna get another one, right? Y'all gonna figure out how to squeeze one more, but it's almost like this food. And it's like he Thanos with the gauntlet, bruh. You know what I'm saying? He putting the stones are the old heads, bro. He done got him a LeBron stone now. You know what I'm saying? So he finna go pick up the Curry stone, boy. Don't let him put that Curry stone in that glove, boy. He finna. You know what I'm saying?
He already been working on it because, I mean, yeah, he went 0 for 11 last game, but he made the most threes in the league this year.
I'm trying to tell you, man. He trying to collect all the stones. Got him a KD stone last year. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. I want him to be like that, but you just got to wait and see, man. Everybody wants to see another Kobe. And not necessarily in the style of play, but just in the you
mindset.
Can see the grit on Kobe. You know, Russell Westbrook is kind of that guy, but he's past his prime. He's still really good, but you know, he's past his prime. Like he's on teams that aren't his anymore. And I think that Ant could be that guy, but he also has that laid back demeanor that, you know, we you know us. We fucks with it. We cool with it.
Yeah.
And then as an athlete, you know, I heard a lot of people saying he played bad in the last game. I'm like, you know, playing bad would have been 15 points, 3 rebounds, and, you know, 2 assists, 3 assists.
Right.
He had 11 rebounds. Like, you know, that means he was mixing it up, and he had 8 assists, which meant he was driving to the paint. He was finding people. But I don't know if I still want to see if he has, you know, give me that. Like that's, you know, I want to see if he has that, you know, like you missed a meal or something. Like it'll be interesting. It's just gonna be interesting, man. Is all I can say. I think the West looks like we got a good series, and then the East is kind of like maybe.
Yeah. I think we kind of see it that way together in the sense of we could have some babies getting burped. Hopefully not. Right.
The only series that I'm skeptical on is the Indy Cleveland. I could see Indianapolis winning that series, especially if Darius Garland doesn't get healthy.
Yeah.
You know, it shouldn't mean that much. Like realistically, if you're Cleveland, you should just be going in the paint the whole game because I love Evan Mobley. I think that he's one of the best power forwards in the league. But Jared Allen is, you know,
hit and miss.
Miles Turner outplayed him today.
Which should never happen. I can't stand Miles Turner. I'll never put USD on this man again, boy. Just type in Miles Turner and click images, and you will understand why you should never risk USD on this man. Bum-ass.
Everybody blame me on
watch this too.
You can't pick Miles Turner on. Look, people, don't pick Miles Turner on no betting sites.
Do not. You will be mad.
You'll be mad. You pick the under, he gonna score 25.
Never can pick it right. You will never pick it right. Somebody show me someone who picks Miles Turner right. I'll show you a bridge for sale in motherfucking Brooklyn. I'm not. Ain't no way, bruh. Ain't no. I'd rather bet on them hard.
Yeah, that's a tough guy to bet on too.
Shit, he hit 5 threes, man. Shit. Anyways, man, let's wrap this thing up, man. Avery, my brother, I appreciate you for sliding in the episode. This was a very, very wonderful episode. We still got more stuff we could have talked about. We could still talk about the NFL draft. We could still talk about some WWE. I got a really interesting theory on a storyline I think they should run with. And if they don't, like, they should maybe hire me to write, because I think I got something cooking, dog.
Oh, the only person you could have told the story other than me is Breeze. I know you told Greg the story.
Listen, I didn't even tell Greg the story yet, actually. I told Balake the story.
You told who?
Balake.
Okay.
Look, this is my audition for WWE writers right now, okay? This is what I think y'all should do, okay? Real quick. So, WrestleMania, right? All right. What happened? Rey Mysterio didn't pull up because of injury, whether or not that's scripted or an actual one, who knows, okay? But it's an opportunity. El Grande Americano went out there. This guy's kind of getting a little bit more love than people thought. I thought, okay? So let El Grande Americano get a little run in a little bit. Let him get his little heel run in a little bit, right? You finally set up the rematch somewhere at some event, maybe SummerSlam, maybe whatever's after that. I don't know. But you set up the rematch, right? El Grande Americano, Rey Mysterio, rematch for the lucha, right? Okay, you build that shit the fuck up, all right? They out there getting it. They going crazy. El Grande Americano beating the shit out of Rey. Rey is on the brink of, he got, because he got the little metal thing. Rey bleeding, he busting Rey shit, Rey bleeding, and then all of a sudden, the most unlikely savior of them all runs out of the tunnel.
Who is that?
The estranged, long-lost son.
Oh,
Mysterio. Face turn. Comes and saves his dad. Earns a lucha mask. Ah!
Look, I'm going to say, because I know Greg going to see this, and he going to be cracking up. So, Rey is actually hurt. He got hurt the day before WrestleMania.
I saw that, like hamstring or something?
Yeah, he did.
On SmackDown.
It was on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I would say maybe SummerSlam. Also, Survivor Series is kind of like a good pay-per-view to do it at. But depending on how long he's out, I would say Chad Gable is actually, I don't know if you know.
Of course, yes. Yeah, I'm picking that up. I picked that up.
Chad Gable is a very well-liked performer. Has been for a couple years. But wrestling is, a lot of it is about physique and size.
Correct.
So he kind of gets the Rey Mysterio treatment. Like, he should be, in my opinion, he's good enough to be in the main event picture.
For sure.
And on the mic, he's got his own little group and all that stuff.
Yep, saw that.
He basically turned into a new character.
Yeah. And like we're in that weird time in America where like that character kind of got a little steam behind him, if you catch my drift, you know what I'm saying?
So, and I think that, the guy that he fought, it was his debut.
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird for him to lose. You usually don't see people lose, but I think they're trying to push him, but I think they're trying to get to a point where when are we going to get this mask off him? He's had this mask on, bro, since like Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I'm
telling you, bro, I think it's you set up a Dom versus El Grande Americano. And even if it's not a Dom face turn, even if it's like some anti-hero shit, like Dom's notorious for pulling people's masks off. Like, so maybe he unmasks El Grande Americano type shit. Like,
we have to see. I know Dom got a good pop this year.
Dom's picking up steam. I ain't even like his goofy ass, but I'm a Braun Breaker dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm rolling with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. You know
Hey, Jacob Fatu is my favorite performer right now, but Braun definitely.
Braun Breaker's my dog.
Hey,
He saw Sami Zayn in half 6 times.
hey, when we was at SmackDown, Solo Sikoa came to the crowd, and Jacob Fatu came out, man. I'm like, dude, how you 300 pounds?
Doing kip ups.
Doing kip ups, doing backflips, jumping over the ropes. Like,
I seen that and I was like, I told Block as like, I'm finna start learning how to kip up by my birthday. That's my deadline. I got 4 months, but ain't no 300-pound fool doing kip ups. And I've always wanted to do a kip up, and I ain't gonna try to do a kip up. I'm doing a kip up.
we'll be fair, they do got the little bit of a trampoline. It's
You
not
right.
thick.
It ain't hard ground. Yeah, you right. You right. Thank you. I needed that. I needed to hear that. That made me feel a lot better, bro. This big ass motherfucker kipping up. What the hell, bro? I look like a beach whale when I try to kip up. What?
Hey, I want to say before we get out of here, man, I'm super proud of you, dog. Like, I think that this year, 2025, I think it's gonna be a big year for you. Shout out to you and everybody that's watching. Make sure you get on Heek's Hot Takes. He'd be killing in women's basketball. I think you're more of a NFL guy than college football, but I think this year will be different. I think that you'll be able to win both. But he's also great at NFL and obviously does his thing with the NBA. So I think this is a good Discord for everybody to join, a good show for everybody to watch, especially if you just want to be entertained. He has a couple good guests, some mutual friends. So I think it's only going to grow, man. I think
I
that
appreciate that.
grow, and I think you're going to have a good year this year. So
I appreciate that, Avery, man. It means a lot, bro. It really does, man. So yeah, with that being said, man, if you've tuned in, if you are tuning in, or if you're gonna tune in the future, man, we really do appreciate you. Stay up to date with our stuff. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Chop it up with us about what you think about we were chopping up in here. We'd love to get back to you and respond. We'll have Avery back on the show soon, maybe even as a weekly guest. That'd be awesome. We'll figure something out, but I'm sure he'll be back. And man, everybody out there have a great morning, night, wherever this video may find you. Y'all have a great day and be safe out there. Stay dangerous, all that good stuff.
all right, y'all. Peace out. All right, my brother.
All right, bro.
Yeah, peace.